Okay, it says we are live. Of course, that'll take me forever to find it.
Oh, yeah, you can see the hearts.
Oh, okay.
It says we got 7.
Yeah, well, I can't find me yet.
Cindy, hello, Cindy.
Say hello to people while I'm looking. I don't know why it takes this long on mine to come up.
It's going. Steve's having trouble again.
Well,
Hi,
I will
Donna.
find it. I don't know why it always takes this. Yours comes right. It has to do with the fact that it's under my name.
No, yeah, okay.
We run into this problem every week. Okay, eventually find me. Oops.
Okay, we got Donna and Cindy. Though it says we have 7, so I don't know.
Well, we always have more of it. We have the lurkers.
Hi, Teresa.
Oh, here I am. That's where I go. Okay.
All right.
All righty. Okay, hi, Cindy. Hi, Donna. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie, yeah.
Can everybody see us and hear us okay? I've been playing with the lighting again. Trying to make it better. And we'll just give it a couple of seconds. Donna says yes. Teresa says howdy. Cindy says yes, we can. Yes. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Okay, so everybody is saying they can hear us and see us. Okay, that's good to know.
Hi, Laura.
I haven't seen that yet. Oh, there's Laura. Okay, hi, Laura. You get it quicker than I do.
Yeah.
On
I don't know,
yours.
usually it's yours that goes quicker than mine.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But I'll try to remember today to look at the camera. It's difficult. We need a big prompt screen up here.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
Right. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Mhm.
You can see we've gotten real festive in behind us. Walter decided 2 hours ago, we should have some hearts. Yeah, really? So I went on to my Cricut and made some hearts. Guess that was good for something. So anyways, okay, well, let's get into it, shall we? Because I have some interesting things to talk about today, later on many levels.
Hi, Andy.
But let's start. Was Andy here? Hi, Andy. Yeah. But let's start with my mother, shall we? Actually, kind of uneventful this week.
Well,
I called her on, did a FaceTime with her on Tuesday. She was fine. Her bruises are starting from her big face plant are starting to fade away. Mm-hmm. So she says she feels fine. They were having some, later in the week, they had some Valentine's activities for them all there. They showed pictures of it. When I say they, I mean the nursing home. Posted pictures of them all sitting around with little hearts on a stick and stuff.
Says we should have been wearing red shirts.
Oh yeah, I don't
know if I have a red shirt.
I don't think I have a red shirt.
I might have a red T-shirt somewhere.
Yeah, you probably have a red T-shirt, but I don't wear T-shirts, so no, I don't have anything red that I can think of. But anyways, they were having this little Valentine's celebration, I guess, on Friday, and they posted pictures. I never see my mother in those pictures, very rarely. I don't know if that's just because they don't get around to wherever she is, or she tells them she doesn't want her picture taken, which is very likely. Or she's not bothering to partake in anything. I don't know.
Which is also likely.
Which is always very likely, too. So I don't know. I ask her about these things, and all she says to me, oh, well, they never tell us anything. Or, oh, I don't know. Maybe they did. So, what are you dealing with here? So I don't know. Anyway, she's fine. So let's move right along then. What are you working on?
Well, this afternoon I was doing a couple of masks, or trying to do another mask, a different pattern.
You didn't bring them to show?
No, I don't like them yet.
Oh, okay, fine.
I don't know if I like the design.
Why?
So I got to try a different one. It seems like every time I sew one, it's supposed to be like super easy in it, and I get it all screwed up. So.
Oh, well, is it like the one you showed me yesterday?
Yeah, only I did it the other way around. Remember I said I did that one on the long side of the instructions didn't say to do it on the long side or the short side.
Right? Oh, right.
So I changed it. So it's the other side. Haven't put the elastics on this one because it screwed up on me. So anyway, so I haven't decided whether I like that pattern or not. So anyway, so then I finished my polo, which I did, right? I didn't bring it down, but
well, the only thing that you had put on it was the buttons, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I want to hit
from last week
on it. Yeah, and I've got another shirt on the go, but I haven't really done much with it. Other than that,
hi Anita.
I finished my short sleeve shirt. But I think I had that done last week. I'm not sure.
Well, I've been working on a few things this week. I finished the back to my Aussie quilt. That's not it. That's the front behind us. I'm going to show tomorrow on the vlog and talk about it in more detail on Tuesday on the Idiot Quilter about it. So now I can start layering it and quilting it. And I just got my sewing machine back yesterday because I had it in for spa week. And, $225 later.
So it's all okay?
It seems to be. Right now it's purring like a kitten, which is good. I mean, it went in for a general tune-up. It was working when it went in. The only thing was very strange, and I've asked Shirley at Ultimate Sewing about this. Not that I'm that concerned about it, but Roy, the technician, he replaced my bobbin case. Well, the ironic part about that was I put in a brand new bobbin case. And when I say bobbin case, that's the problem I was having with it way back when I was going through all that hell, with it. And occasionally they will get scarred, and sometimes they get scarred like a needle has jammed and it's gone through it or whatever. But I put a brand new one in the day before I took it into the shop. Not a mark on it. He put in a brand new one. He gave me the old one back. I'm looking at it and going, well, why did he replace it? Because there weren't any marks on it, on the one that I gave him. And I looked at it again closely and everything. And I mean, that did cost me $40. Now, the thing is that I'm not too concerned about is that I would just like to know why he replaced it. But, and I trust Roy. I mean, Roy's great. He's excellent. I know
you'd like to know if there's something wrong with that.
Yeah, before I ever use it again or whatever. And, if it was just something like a mistake or something and it's usable, well, I'll just keep it. I mean, I've paid the money already for it. I know Shirley would give me a refund and everything, but I'm not worried about it because I like to have them in spares, like have them. I kind of stockpile them actually. So, that's okay. But I would like to know why that is. So she did give us a couple of spools of thread when we were picking up the machine the other day, something new by Quilter Select. They're a little thinner. One was a 60 weight, one was an 80 weight. She wanted us to try them out and let her know what we thought. Well, I tried out the 60 weight this morning, and I had some problems with it. And I gave it to Walter, and he tried it. And, of course, he didn't have any problems with it. But then again, I tried it after he had tried it again, and it seemed to be working okay. The only thing is I really don't like the weight of it. I'm used to sewing with Aurifil, and I use a 50 weight. I use a 50 weight, which is a little thicker thread for my piecing. And I guess Shirley said that the advantage to having this kind of thread, like a 60 weight, is that if you're doing something that has a lot of bulky seams in it when you're patching, like if you're doing a mariner's compass or something like that, like things that have Y seams in them, then this will, cut down on the bulk. For me personally, the bulk doesn't bother me. But I mean, if you were making a quilt and you're putting it into a major show, you would probably want to use the thinner thread with that, because judges are extremely picky.
I don't know. I didn't mind the thread. I mean, I thought for some reason it felt really, I thought it felt nice for thread. I
don't know. See, it's just me. I've never used anything that thin. And I guess
I haven't really used it that much. I was going to use it. I have put the Aurifil back in when I was doing the mask, but only because the other ones were the wrong color for.
Well, I think what the problem is for me is it started to wrap around my bobbin, and I stopped the machine. And, you know, I'm paranoid about that kind of thing after all the hell I've gone through with the Janome 15,000. And, you know, it's been working fine. Of course, this isn't my original one. This is the one that I got in place of it. And it's been working fine. I took it in for a tune-up because you should. Once a year, you know, these machines are expensive. And you cannot do all the maintenance. I mean, you got to keep it cleaned regularly. You can do that up to a point, but there's parts you can't get at to clean that are deep inside the machine. And so you need a technician that knows what they're doing. Plus, you should have your timing checked out. That's really important as well. And I felt that the timing might be slightly off. And I wanted to check a couple other things. So, of course, my automatic threader wasn't working. And it's working now. He's fixed it. I don't know how long it'll last. That has nothing to do with the technician. That has everything to do with the design and with these machines. Janome, and there's other companies that have the same thing. This is a totally automatic threader. It's not one where you pull it down. That's a semi-automatic in a sense. This one, I hit a button, it goes boom, boom, in. But the little pump pump tends to wear out very quickly.
Actually, Teresa's, what was that? We had Teresa DeJong say something really weird today.
Where?
A Cupid crashing into the side of a brick building.
Saw a meme today of a Cupid crashing into the side of a brick building. Sounds like my life. Oh. Well, that doesn't sound good. Do tell.
Teresa was saying she was wondering if thinner thread would work better for your Janome. I had no problems on mine, but you had a bit of a problem.
I had that, yeah. But like I said, maybe, I don't know, maybe the first time it started to wrap around, I cleaned it all out. Maybe I missed a piece of thread. I don't know. I'm just a little leery about it.
I did notice that on the second spool, I opened the second spool, and even on the first spool, on the one side of the spool, there was a little burr on the spool. And when I was threading machine, the thread caught in the burr. And depending on which way you had the thread, there is a possibility that it snagged the burr.
Maybe it did.
Because if you did that, if that happens, I've had it happen where a thread snagged somewhere when I was sewing, and then all of a sudden it causes havoc.
Yeah, that could be. I don't know. These things are not an exact science.
No.
And, you know, there are sewing machines that people will swear that their sewing machine hates a certain brand of thread. Like my machine does not like sulky, variegated threads. I can tell you that. It loves Aurifil. Now, the thing with these threads, too, that Shirley gave us, they're actually made by Floriani. And I use Floriani all the time for embroidery. I use their embroidery threads. I've never used any of their, well, I don't know. This might be the first time they've come out with one that's an actual sewing thread.
Actually, I've actually, Floriani?
Yeah.
I've used Floriani in my embroidery machine. The embroidery thread, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I use the Super B. It's fine, right? But I've used it for sewing, too.
What, the Floriani thread?
Yeah, and the Super B.
Well, I've actually used Floriani for sewing too, and it's worked fine, but it's a different weight.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's not as fine as this. I don't know. Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like the Aurifil. I like the 50 weight. That's what I use for my piecing. It's working out fine for me.
No, the thin thread, was it Marilyn said, asking if the thread's 100% cotton. It's not.
It's not. It's a polyester. It's a poly blend, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a poly cotton.
Yeah. The Aurifil, though, it's cotton.
But then all our embroidery threads are polyester.
Polyester, yeah. So just catch up here. Hi, Laura. Who announced that? Hi, Bonbon. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, bah humbug. Now, Bombo says, I have a 15,000. I had problems and was told to make sure you feel the little click in the take-up lever and the little mechanism next to the needle. Little clicks. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Actually, what I do now, and comes from the problems I had with the other machine, is you can open up the side door. You can't see the sewing machine sitting right here, off camera. You can open up the side end, and when I thread it, I have got it as a habit now. I always open that door up, and make sure it's going over the lever properly, because sometimes when you thread it, if you're not careful, you thread it too fast, it'll slip off that little lever. It'll go back, and that can cause you a problem.
Yeah, like on the 6700 when I do my threading. I always make sure I feel the thread, like you say, the little click or whatever, when it goes into the take-up lever. And as soon as I have a problem with sewing, the first thing I do is rethread the thing, just because, and check the bobbin thread to make sure everything's okay.
And most of the times when I have a problem with it, I rethread it from scratch. Even though I open it up and it looks like it's fine inside, I just find if you do it from scratch, because sometimes I've just said, well, yeah, it looks fine, and carry on, and it has worked. Other times, nope, for whatever reason. They're temperamental. They really are, these machines. Anita says, Steve, did you get time to see the Dolce & Gabbana fabrics?
Well, I didn't see fabrics.
We didn't see fabrics. We saw the fashion show.
We saw the fashion show.
That was the link you sent. Is that what you mean, Anita? Because we did watch the fashion show, and
God,
I don't think I'll be running out to buy any of their clothing for this season. First of all, they seem to be a big push on men's purses. And I mean, these purses look like ladies' purses. There's nothing masculine really about them. And they love gold chains. Everything had gold chains.
To the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. She says, that's what she meant. Yeah. And the shape of the clothing, I mean, a couple of things look like they were sleeping bags draped over them. A couple of them look like you could inflate them.
They were pretty far out.
I mean, but that's probably the Haute Couture collection.
Yeah,
and those are always like...
We saw one, we started watching one for, what was the other one? Dior?
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually... their stuff was a little bit more toned down. It was sort of the same kind of style, but it was a little not quite as out there as Dolce & Gabbana.
Yeah, Anita, that's what we said too. It had a quilted patchwork style. Yeah, I said, okay, I'll make some large pieces of patchwork material. Walter can make them into shirts and jackets. We'll start our own line. We'll call it S&W. When you really care to wear the very best. I like several of the skirts. Why, the men's skirts. Yeah, every so many years they try to bring that in, that look, And it looked to me like they were really pushing the androgynous look. Like the guys were all wearing eyeshadow, eye makeup, lipstick,
there was
earrings.
One guy that looked, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a man and a woman.
And I think that was done on purpose. It's the androgynous, let's not be biased according to sexual gender or something like that, But I mean, that's what these people are famous for. It's entertainment. You look at this and you go, yeah, really? No. I mean, it's not their stuff that you go into the local, the Bay, or I was going to say Sears, but they don't exist anymore. Your usual kinds of clothing stores, and you could buy their brands, but they're not going to look like that. You're just going to pay a high price for it. So, no, the women's skirts. Yes, they were doing the underlook. Yeah. No, I didn't watch in that video you sent us. That was just all men in that one.
We didn't
watch the women one, and quite frankly, I don't care. So what? They're women's clothes. Women's clothes, though, you can. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not quite as bizarre. Some things are, but you expect women's haute couture and things like that to be, that runway for Oscars kind of look.
I think that women would tend to wear a lot of that stuff a little bit more readily than what the men would wear.
With the men, yeah.
Even young men, I don't think would wear a lot of that stuff.
Geez, they look like a whole bunch of gay guys. I'm sorry, gay guys don't even dress like that. Well, they probably are, but I mean, stereotype. But I mean, even gay men won't wear that.
Actually, a lot of them. Well, I guess they're supposed to not look happy when they're.
No, they have to have that neutral look on their face. Like, as they walk, poke, poke, pout.
Well, we won't be wearing any of that stuff.
No, well, one, we can't afford it. No. And he says, oh, the women's clothes were all patchwork looking styles. It's
Yeah, you could do a quilt
YouTube,
and just make a dress of it.
yeah, there you go. Well, people have.
Yeah.
That's already been done. Like what? One of the ladies that used to teach at the Ultimate Sewing, she was wearing a jacket.
Yeah, she made this jacket.
Yeah.
It was sort of looked like a quilt.
Yeah.
It looked actually
it
very
was
nice.
quite nice. But now I got a mouthful of chips. Yeah, we're
slumming it.
We're slumming it tonight. I opened up a bag of chips.
Salt and vinegar.
Actually, they're called Dutch Crunch. You buy them at the dollar store, 50 cents a bag. There's 3 chips in a bag. Pretty much. I don't know. Lately, I've had a hankering for potato chips because I don't usually eat potato chips. I don't
usually buy it. We don't usually buy them because
he would eat them. But usually, like, I can have one potato chip. Yes, and I can just eat one. But lately, no. I've had this thing I want. Maybe my system's low on salt. I don't know. So, anyways,
Anita said she made a pot of chili for supper.
Oh, good. We'll be over. I think I've got some chili in the freezer.
Yeah, we have chili in the freezer.
Yeah. Is it chili? How chilly is it? That's the Mexican weather report, isn't it? Hot tamale. No, chilly today, hot tamale. That's how that goes. Yeah, whatever. So, is that all you've been working on?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that all you do with your time?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I have one day that I don't feel like sewing, so I don't sew. And then another day I feel like sewing also. So
most of the time you're glued to your computer screen, staring at nothing.
I read the news and I do stuff.
Oh, good for you. So what have I been working on? Well, I told you I've been working on the backing for that, which is what that is not. And then, of course, my guild's going to have a couple of sew days. I have some stories about my guild coming up. Oh, you're going to want to hang around for this. You may want to get a drink. But before we get to that, so I had some leftover fabric. Well, I still have leftover fabric from my Australian quilt. So I had these long border strips that I made. And for some reason, I got my measurements out of whack and I had a lot of it left over. So I made we needed a couple of new placemats. So I made these. That's the back, actually. Actually, they're reversible. There's the front.
No, how can you tell which one?
And it's back. Well, because the back was too short. There are 2 panels, right?
Oh, okay.
And this piece, I didn't have enough to do the full thing. So what I did was I had enough to cut it this way. So that's why looks like a little border on the side. But it doesn't matter because they're reversible. And I just did some walking foot quilting on them as well. But the fabric's quite colorful, and for placemats,
they're nice actually.
These are for us. Now I'm working on some. I was just working on these today. I've made some like this before. It's a pattern that you use 4 fat quarters with, and it's the way you cut them. And so you get 4. They're all made from the same fabrics, but they all look slightly different. This is just one of them. And these are for charity, for the Meals on Wheels people. Or they may become ours because of the situation I find myself in, hint, hint, with my guild, which we're coming to. So tease you along with that. So that's what I've been working on. And thank you, Anita and Marilyn. And Anita says we are expecting either 6 to 10 inches of snow or 8 to 12 inches. Who knows? Well, it's winter.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to be getting some of that snow Monday or Tuesday.
Hi, Ann. I'm trying to do the quilt as you go method with my latest quilt. Hope it goes okay. Yeah, thank you about the fabrics. With that, actually, those fabrics in that placemat I just showed you are from my stash. I like fat quarters. I've got a lot of fat quarters because if you're doing smaller projects, they're a convenient size for that. Like I said, that particular placemat there, it takes 4 fat quarters, and out of those 4 fat quarters, you get 4 placemats. You need backing, of course, so you need a meter or so of. Well, I think you need a couple of meters of backing or whatever. And I don't know, I might just do the backing in the same way, put them together. I'm just doing the pillowcase method. I'm not going to put a binding around it, so we'll see. Anyways, so that's what I've been working on. I've been missing my baby, my machine. It's back. Although I do quite enjoy sewing on my other machine, my Skyline S7. That's a good little machine. I really like it. The only thing I wish I had for it now is an extended table, but I looked at the price of them. They want almost like $300 for an extended table for it. That's a bit pricey. So I think I'll hold off. In fact, I was using the extended table for my cheaper, smaller machine, and it doesn't fit perfectly, but it fit well enough to, it gave me space, extra space to sew on. So that was okay. Okay, so the big news, as you probably all know, because some of you already joined in for it, is the big Idiot Quilter Retreat on March the 20th from 9 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. in the evening, Eastern Standard Time. I put out an announcement about that, a special one. Actually, I didn't intend to put out that announcement about it until I did my vlog, and we did this today, and I do my Idiot Quilter on Tuesday. But I've already had people coming for it. I advertised it. It hasn't even been advertised yet out here. Okay, let me back up how this thing works, okay? I have a sponsor. I have two sponsors. Actually, technically, I probably have three sponsors. When I say three sponsors, I mean they're people who are businesses that are donating some prizes, electronic gift certificates, basically, because this is all going to be virtual. And it's just too cost prohibitive, especially when this is, I'm not generating any revenue from this at all. It's all free, absolutely free. It would be too cost prohibitive to try and send physical prizes out in the mail to people. So we're doing gift certificates that are electronic that can be used on their online stores. One of the sponsors is Ultimate Sewing, of course, which is my local scrapbooking store.
No, it's quilting store.
What did I
Ultimate
say?
Sewing is quilting store. You said scrapbooking.
Oh,
store.
sorry. You knew what I meant. The quilting store, yeah. The other one is Class Act, which is my local scrapbooking crafting store as well. The third one is actually, it's not really a store with fabric or anything like that. It's more has patterns. They're all made by Kim Jameson Hurst, who is the runner of the Quilter's Way. You've heard me talk about the Quilter's Way before. It's a membership site that I belong to for quilters and sewers. And she has some of her own unique patterns in that, and she's going to donate to me a couple of gift certificates too that you can use on her store. And she's got some nice patterns, and she's got a lot of them are applique as well. So if you're into applique, you know, that's one to check out. Anyways, they're the three that are working in conjunction with me. And on top of it all, Ultimate Sewing is going to do a couple of demos on some new products. Kim at the Quilter's Way, it's Chatterbox Quilts. I gotta call it that because that's really her whole company is Chatterbox Quilts. And you can look her up on YouTube, Chatterbox Quilts, and she's got videos there and everything. She has Facebook and the whole works. She's going to do a little talk about what the Quilter's Way is. And I think she's also going to talk maybe a little bit about free motion quilting as well. And Class Act is going to do a demo. Carol, the owner there, is going to do a demo that kind of crosses over between both crafters and quilters because it's a product called Angelina Fibers. And this is a really interesting product. And so she's going to do a demo with it. It's basically fibers, but the fibers can be melted with an iron so you can use them to create things. You can stamp on them. You can use them to put embellishments into a quilt or into a sewing project, things like that. She's going to do a demo with that on that day. I'm trying to keep the demos and the presenters down to about 30 minutes to 45 minutes max because I don't want to fill up the whole day with presentations because, I mean, after all, it's a retreat and people want to work on their projects. As I've already said, quilters and crafters are invited to this. It's basically a much bigger rendition of my craft and chat kind of a thing. There will be these prizes, of course. There'll be little contests to win a prize. And we're planning some early evening short entertainment with a couple of special guest stars that are cousins related to us. Both a couple of fun girls, the kind of girls that pick up boys in the produce department of a grocery store on any Friday or Saturday night. And Glad Ass Happy Bum and Matilda Mudslinger. That is worth the price of admission alone to see these two gals. Okay. Of course, it is free. So, and everybody's going to get an electronic or a virtual swag bag. And I had someone the other day ask me what a virtual swag bag is. Well, basically, when you go to a retreat, you often get
virtually nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, might be. If you go to a real retreat, like a physical retreat, you often get a loot bag kind of a thing or swag bag with little goodies in it from, whoever is sponsoring it. Well, I can't send them out to you. So what I've done is I've collected a whole bunch of little things appropriate to both quilters and crafters and put them all together. They are freebies. I'll tell you that right now. They were things I gleaned from the internet that are absolutely free. And you could probably do a search and find some of these things without much of a problem. But I'm putting them all together in one little virtual bag. And on the day of the retreat, when you sign in, I will be emailing the link to you, which basically in Google Drive, and you just click on the link and bang, you've got it all, and there you are. So there may be some other things in this. We're still working on all of this, but so far the response has been a little overwhelming. That's why I put the special announcement up yesterday, because I wanted people that are my regular viewers here, our regular viewers, if they're interested, to get a chance to get into it, because I'm going to have to limit it to 90 people. I've already got, as of right now, 57.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I've got more in today and the whole bit. The one thing I'm a little worried about, and this is why I'm not giving out the swag bag until people sign in on the day of. I was going to set out in advance, but the reason I'm not now is because I'm not giving anybody a swag bag who at the last minute decides not to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And life happens, and something comes up and people had the best intentions. However, we all know them, there are some people, I wouldn't think anybody who's signed up for this retreat would be like this, but there are some people who something better comes along and they leave you in the lurch. And especially when I haven't collected any money for this, it's just easier to go, oh yeah, I can't do that today. Whereas if you're paying $50, $100, a couple $100 for it, you'd probably be thinking twice, or those people would be thinking twice for dropping out. So I'm not going to give out the swag bags until people have signed in. And all of that information will come out to everybody in a couple of weeks, just before March the 20th. I do send a confirmation to everybody, so to let them know that when they've sent me their request to be in part of the retreat, you get a confirmation within minutes, actually. You do it pretty fast, saying, yeah, you're in, yay, kind of a deal, and more details coming in the next few weeks. But anyways, this is what we've got planned. So I have put in the show notes for today the whole advertising blurb with my email contact information. So if you're interested, don't hesitate, because I have no guarantees it won't be filled up by the end of this coming week. Maybe yes, maybe no. And all you need to do is send me your name, first and last, please, and your email address. And yes, I know your email address will be in the header when it comes to me. And in 9 out of 10 cases, that's fine. But there have been some people that the email address that's in the header is different from the email address they wish me to use. So, just keep that in mind. If you're one of those people, that's fine. I just want to make sure I have the right email address, because that's going to be the way I'll be communicating with you before the event. One other thing, which I haven't asked in the advertisement, but would be handy for me for my statistics, if you put in that you are one of my viewers, from any one of our videos, whether it's Stephen and Walter Live, The Idiot Quilter, or my vlog. That'll be helpful because I'm just keeping stats as to how many people come from what areas. Because, and this is where I'm going to explain why it's filling up so fast. I put it on. I belong to the Canadian Male Quilters Facebook group, and I posted it there. Now, to date, there will be men in there. Now, there's not a lot.
Mhm.
There's 2 guys actually so far that have signed up for it, but I posted it there. I also posted it on my guild. I actually sent an email to all of the guild members because I'm the secretary, so I have access to our membership list, and sent them the advertisement that you'll see right in the show notes below here if you haven't seen it before then. And I've got quite a few of them suddenly are really interested as well. So originally I was thinking 35 to 40 would be the number. Well, no, I've opened it up to 90. I think I can handle that. My Zoom license that I subscribe to will allow me up to 100, but I'm leaving 10 spots free. Well, I need a spot for each of the presenters. I need a spot for me. I don't know if it counts the host or not as one of those of the 100, but it might. And Walter's another one. So, and he'll be co-hosting as well. So I've got it limited to 90. Now, somebody asked me, would I have a waiting list if it fills up, next week or something? I'm thinking about that.
It's kind of hard because I don't know. I would think it's kind of hard because if people just don't show up.
Mm-hmm. Unless somebody actually emails me and says, "Oh, Steve, look, I'm sorry, I can't make it after all," I won't know.
Or if they just don't show up.
Yeah. What I might do is in another week's time, I'll see how things are going. They were coming in pretty rapidly Friday and yesterday. It seemed to slow down a little bit today.
Well, you might send out an email and just as a reminder and just ask them to let you know.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking that I might do with it as well. I mean, you have to bear with me. I've never done anything on this scale before. Well, that's not true. I have, but not in virtual. So, there's all that to work out. So anyways, okay, catching up here. Hi, Carol. Laura says, I can make journals. I sew the binding by hand. Yep. You can do whatever you want. It does not have to be quilting or sewing. It can be scrapbooking, card making, mixed media, art journaling, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to turn you away because you're not quilting. Not at all. Anita says, wonder if any of us will appear on Zoom as a cat. Okay. Not sure what you mean, Anita. Or do you mean like someone using one of those face things that they have on the camera? Is that what you mean? That's too bad, Teresa, that you can't get out of work. It should be fun. It's meant to be fun. It's supposed to be relatively informal. There will be a schedule for the day, so you have an idea of when people are presenting. You're free to come and go as you please. I'm going to keep the chatter down. In other words, what I mean is I'm not going to go around and say, show us what you're working on. If you want to do that, you can do that in an informal way. But I'm not going to go through because it's going to be too many people. I originally thought of doing a show and share on there, but I can't. Even if I limit it to 1 minute per person, and if everybody did it, that's 90 people. That's an hour and a half right there on show and share. So I'm not going to do that kind of thing. Also, some people get uptight about it. They really don't want to talk about what they're working on. So we're going to leave all of that kind of stuff to making it very informal. It's the whole idea behind this is I have 2 reasons for doing this. One, I want to have some fun. I always have fun when I go to a physical retreat. I always have fun when I do a virtual sew day or something like that. I find it inspiring. I find that it makes me more productive because I know even though we're not in the same room, other people are working on their stuff. So I find that very relaxing. And that's what I want other people to experience. So if I fill the whole day up with all kinds of little things along the line where you just get started in something and then you suddenly have to stop again, well, that's not fun. Excuse me, hiccups. That creates tension, and I don't want that. The other reason I'm doing it is because those three businesses that are sort of, I'm calling them sponsors. Technically, they're not sponsors. They're donating some gift certificates, and they're donating some time to present. So I want to support them. You know how much I love my local quilt store. I want to support them at this point in time. We're just about to come out of lockdown to a certain degree, but it's still not like it's not going to go back for a while yet to what it originally was. And these businesses are hurting. I want to support my local craft store because I have always supported them. And even though I've moved away from the crafting and more into the quilting and the sewing, I still have my art journal group. Oh yes, I opened it up to those people as well. I want to support these two businesses because they are businesses that are hurting right now. And Kim is a friend of mine who runs Chatterbox Quilts, and she graciously has donated her time to this as well, and some gift certificates, and it's her business as well. It's part of her livelihood. So I want to support her as well too. So that's why I'm doing it. Really, that's my only motivation. I'm not taking any money for this because how can I? This is not of any real cost to me. I have a subscription to Zoom. Whether I did the retreat or not, I would still be paying for my subscription every month because I use it. So, if I want to be real greedy, I could make this a money grabbing thing. If I charged everybody $25, 90 people, not bad. But when you charge people too for things, they expect to get their money's worth. I'm not saying you're not going to have a good time and that I'm not putting any thought or planning into this. I definitely am, but I'm not charging for it. And I don't need to charge for it. I don't feel that I need to. I don't have any overhead for this at all. So,
Yes, Laura Nicholson wondered if it was on a weekend. Yes, it's March 20th. It's on Saturday.
Saturday, March the 20th from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's all in the show notes right now, Laura, for you, and how you what you have to do. And I've already actually just said it. All you need to do is send me your name and your email address and say you want to be on part of the retreat. That's all I need from you.
Oh, Anita said, did you see an attorney was in a court case? He appeared as a cat.
Oh, no, didn't see that one.
No. Well, actually, I really follow the news and I didn't see it. I was surprised I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see that one. So that's what you meant. Okay. Laura says she saw it, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just catching up here on what people are saying. So anyways, that's the plan right now. Does anybody right at this moment in time have any questions about it? Because I'd be happy to answer anything right now. And if you have any questions, you think about them later, you can always email them to me. Email address is in the show notes, as it always is now.
You're not planning to record this?
Oh, no. This is not going to be recorded. No. To record it, there's no reason to record it. One, if I was to record it and put it up on YouTube, how many people would watch it? Would you watch it? I mean, if you weren't involved in it, would you watch it? I mean, I can't think of anything more boring than watching a bunch of people sewing on a Zoom. Laura's
going to email you now.
Okay. Well, good, Laura. I'm not at my computer, but that's okay. I'll get it. You'll get a confirmation. So no, not going to record it. Also, it makes some people uptight. They don't want to be recorded, and I get it. So no, it will not be recorded. So, okay, so here's where the interesting thing comes now. Now, I am sorry, but I'm really, really pissed off. Majorly pissed off. Not at any of you. No, not at you. I am pissed off with an individual in my guild who's the president of my guild. I asked permission. Now, let me state this. I don't have to ask for permission to put something in our monthly newsletter in the guild. I am the secretary on the guild as well. A lot of paperwork goes through me. But I thought, out of a common courtesy, I would ask. So I sent to the voting executive members of our executive, like our executive has committee heads, but they don't have a vote. But there's about 6 of us, you know, the treasurer, the vice president, the past president, the president, and the secretary, all have a vote on things. And I just sent it out to all those people and said, look, I'm going to be running this retreat, and I want to know if it'd be okay if I post in the newsletter my little blurb about it. And I showed them the blurb, and it's the same blurb that you'll see in the show notes. Okay, nothing different about it. The president was the only one that answered me, and she said, "Oh yeah, sure, not a problem." So I did. I sent it off to the person who does the newsletter. In the meantime, I got thinking, ooh, our newsletter comes out only a few days before the actual retreat. So by the time anybody in the guild sees it, I may not be able to, I won't have any room for them to be part of it. So I thought, well, I'll just send out through our email system, the guild's email system, a note to everybody, all the members of the guild, and I sent them out the same thing. Fine. And then suddenly all the things started coming in because I've got right now about 27 guild members who have signed up for it. And that's why yesterday I decided to put up that other special announcement, because I'm going, whoa, this is filling up quick. I got an email yesterday from the president. Even thinking about it right now is starting to make my blood boil. She basically said she had a complaint by somebody, guild members, about me putting that up and sending it to them, and that I needed to have her permission to do it. And there was something else, and I can't remember what it is. But it was like, she was yelling at me. She was berating me like I was a small child, like I had done something horribly wrong. I saw red. Now, the first rule of writing emails when you're angry is not to write an email. I know that, but I did, and it was short. I said, 1, I don't have to ask your... Oh, she said that I had not asked permission to send it out to the membership. I said, 1, I don't have to ask you for your permission. 2, I do not answer to this kind of tone. And if you do not apologize, I will resign as secretary. Well, she is a ball-busting bitch. She comes from a military background where she's used to ordering people around, but I'm sorry, this isn't the army, and I don't answer to you.
Plus, there's nothing in your constitution that says...
There's nothing in our constitution that says that I need to ask for permission from anybody to submit anything to the newsletter or to send out to our membership. So I was livid for the rest of yesterday, pretty much. Tried to, sort of like a cat that's been in a fight, you know, kind of a deal. Yeah, well. And I had lots of wonderful, horrible thoughts going through my head of how I could rip her off the face of the planet, quite frankly. Now, this is something that has just been the line drawn in the sand here with this group. And you've heard me talk about this before.
He's had problems with the guild all along.
I have problems with the guild because I'm a man in a woman's world, quite frankly. They're sexist. They treat me like I'm their husband, so they think I think
last week you mentioned the comic that was in it.
Yeah, that one. Still haven't had any kind of response to my complaint about the sexist comic that they put in, the cartoon they put in with that. So they removed my access to the email, which isn't going to be a great help to them because I'm the one who acted. I think I've told you this before. I act like a 1920s telephone operator. I redirect all the email to the spots where it's supposed to go because it's just a big holding spot. You know, when somebody writes to somebody on there, they're not writing to a person, they're writing to the email box. I see it, I channel it. So I can't get into it now. So, okay, good luck with that. You go ahead and work on that. I have all of the notes, all the minutes, copies of the Constitution, certificates for insurance and things like that. I have all of those.
And the key to the mailbox.
And the key to the mailbox because I'm the secretary. I hold the records for the group. So what are they going to do next? I have not resigned. They still will have to deal with me. But I'm trying to think what generated this. Well, the president used to work for Ultimate Sewing.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is probably very nasty to say and the whole bit.
She was fired from.
But she was fired from there because she didn't do any of her work. And as president of our guild, she doesn't do anything either. In fact, she's moving out of town. I think she moves tomorrow. She's moving to a place that's 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours away from us. But she's going to still maintain her position as the president.
I can't see how you can possibly be effective doing that.
Well, when you don't do anything,
yeah.
I guess you can do it from long distance.
You can do nothing from anywhere.
The vice president does everything. But I have issues with that person too, because I think she does too much and she's a bit of a control person. You know, the kind. I hate working with those kind of people. You know,
everybody else does it wrong. She does it perfect.
Yeah. So. I was put into the position of secretary. What's the term? I was volunteer, but voluntold. That's right. 2 years ago, they came to me and said, would I do it? Because they couldn't get anybody. And I told you that story before too. And so I said, yes. Well, my time is up at the end of this year, at the end of June, when our year ends. So, you know, I've already told them, let them know that I was not standing, my term is up and I was not extending the term. I wasn't going to stand for it. So they have to find somebody else to do the job. Well, good luck with that. As the ex-secretary, when she handed me all the books and everything, she was, God help you. And at the time, I thought that was kind of a strange thing to say, but I understand her now why. Why? They're just a sheer, complete hell of a group to work with. Now, that's not the guild ladies, though. That's the executive. And only a few people on the executive. But there are people in key positions in the executive, like the president.
We'll get a beer.
The other people in the guild, the other ladies, for the most part, I've never had any problems with them. They're great. They're wonderful. I go to the sew days. I enjoy myself. These are the people that have signed up for this retreat. I have a feeling, and this would not be beneath this person, that she's going to send out an email to the whole membership, which I won't be able to see, which is kind of weird because I'm still a member. I paid my dues. I'm still a member. And according to the Constitution, we don't have anything in the Constitution that says how do you get rid of a member or what constitutes revoking someone's membership. There's nothing in our Constitution about it. Our Constitution is only 4 pages long and it's very easy. I went through the Constitution again just to see whether if I had violated something. I haven't violated anything. The thing is, she used to work for Ultimate Sewing. She got fired because she didn't do anything there. And I think she has a hate on for Ultimate Sewing. And I think she said it was somebody else, but I have a feeling it was her as well. She saw that Ultimate Sewing is one of the sponsors for the retreat. And she immediately got her knickers in a knot all over that because she has a personal vindictive kind of thing against them. That's not the right terminology, but you know what I mean. So anyways, I'm sitting quiet. The ball's in their court. and we'll see what they do. And then I'll make a decision on the next action that I have. But I debated whether I should bring that up, but I'm bringing it up to tell you about this because I don't know if it'll happen, worst case scenario, but I could see, being the kind of person that she is, that she would send out an email to the membership and say, this is not a sanctioned event. It doesn't need to be a sanctioned event because it has nothing to do with the guild. Mm-hmm. I just sent out a courtesy email to invite people to it because I know they all love retreats, and my guild hasn't been able to do a physical retreat this year. The closest we've come is to a few days on Zoom. So that's why I offered it to them. And no ulterior motives, nothing there. It's free. It's not like Ultimate Sewing is going to be making thousands of dollars from this because they're not getting a penny. In fact, it's costing them money to create these gift certificates. In fact, we talked to Shirley yesterday, and because of the company she deals with, which is Shopify, there's something where she actually has to put the money up front for any gift certificates, which is not like she's just issuing a piece of paper with a number on it or something like that, which costs her nothing. And then she, you get your $10 or whatever, your discount off a product from that. She actually physically has to put up her own money, which makes me feel a little bad that she has to do that for this, but she's doing it. So really, if somebody doesn't cash in on the gift certificate, she's lost money. Chances are people are going to cash in on it, but you see what I mean? But there is no reason whatsoever that I can find for why this person would behave this way, except that she's a control freak. She is a dictator. She's also a bully. She's already one.
I know who she is. So
what's that?
I know who she is.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to say her name.
He's not lying about that. I
have no reason to lie about it whatsoever. In fact, in one way, this is not going to affect the retreat. The only way it would affect the retreat is, like I was saying, if she sent out a message to all of the members of the guild and says, this is not a sanctioned thing, and however she worded it and say, I strongly suggest, or no, she doesn't strongly suggest, she just tells people what to do. Don't go. Well, I think there might be some people that could be intimidated by that. I think there might be other people who go, screw you. My life, if I want to go, I'll go, kind of a thing. It doesn't matter. If they all dropped out tomorrow, it's still going on. I've got almost 60 people.
Not only that, the sewing store is going to put out a message on Tuesday stating it as well. So
yeah, advertising it. So there'll be her customer base. There'll be a lot of them because they all love thing. I know a lot of them. And Carol at Class Act is putting it in her newsletter this week as well. So, this is why I'm saying about, you want to act quickly, because come next week, the advertising for this is going to spread out even further. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, to be continued. And you will hear about it again tomorrow on my vlog. And you will hear it on the Idiot Quilter this week.
Marilyn wants to know if you can just sign in and sign out throughout the day. Oh,
yeah. You don't even have to sign out. Signing in is just an expression. There is nothing for you to sign. When I say that, I may have made it sound like that. It just means that I'm going to be taking attendance. I'll see your name come up when I admit you in, and I'll have a chart, and I'll just check off your name and go, yep, you get a swag bag. Yep, you get a swag bag. And anybody who decided not to show up that day for it won't get a swag bag.
Yeah, I'll have a list of names of people having some. Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be easy for you to just check in,
if you need to, whatever,
or you don't have to start at 9 o'clock and go till 9 o'clock. You can start at 10 or 11 or something because like that. Stay on for a few hours and check out again. So
if you're out west, for example, Kim, she's out in Calgary. It's 3 hours different. No, 2 hours difference for her. She actually said to me, please don't schedule me to speak, she said, at 9 o'clock, because it'll be 7 in the morning for her. I don't think she's really a morning person.
No, so
So I said, no problem. We'll put you in the afternoon or whatever. I'm in constant contact with these people anyways. And I get their feedback, whatever they want to do. But, if you are somebody that's in a time zone that puts this at, crack of dawn for you or something like that, no, that's fine. I'll be doing my little check throughout the day. So,
yeah, I mean, we realize, that, okay, we're doing this. It's not, for people that watch us, it isn't necessarily a great time for everybody.
But there's nothing we can really do about that.
The majority of the people seem to be in North America. We're sort of doing it now.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm sorry. I do have a couple of people from England who have signed up. So for them, they're 5 hours ahead of us. So when we're starting it, it's going to be 2:00 in the afternoon for them. And we're ending it. If they were to actually stay for the full time, it would be
late at night for them.
Yeah, it'd be 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
For them. But so I don't expect them to stay for that whole time. It's very flexible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this for one reason only, to have some fun. That's all it is. That's all. And not only
that, I mean, it depends. Everybody's a little different in different parts of the world as far as the lockdowns are occurring and stuff like that. And ourselves, we've been under lockdown. We're supposedly getting a little bit better this week, that we're coming out of lockdown a bit, but we're still suggested to stay home and all this other stuff. So we're not free to roam around, and I'm sure a lot of people would just like to do something else.
Yeah. So, that's all. I don't have any ulterior motives except that. That's my motive. Have fun. That's all it is.
You want a party with 100 people.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, originally, I didn't think it was going to be that many. In fact, I thought I would be hard pressed to get like 30 people, and then bang, it was coming in. So, and it's my first one on this scale. So please bear with me.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of thinking. I've done a lot of planning already for this. This just doesn't come off the cuff like that. I've been thinking about this for a while. I've been making notes and ideas and things, and I'm working on it every day. I'm that kind of person, though. I'm a type A personality. When I set something up, I organize it to the nth degree. Like my record keeping, the whole bit, the way I'll do it. That's what I said. I'll have a checklist of people's names. I'll know. I will not be offended if you don't make it. Okay? Because the people that are signing up for it right now are most of the people that are on here right now today, or come on My Idiot Quilter, or that kind of thing. And I know that you wouldn't sign up for it. At least I have that feeling. You wouldn't sign up for it if you weren't serious about doing it. So, but life happens, right? So if it does, it does. That's okay. My feelings won't be hurt. I haven't lost anything in this.
Just that it would be nice that if people sign up for it, their intent is to follow through.
Yeah, because there may have been other people. Like I'm really hoping I don't have to start a waiting list or turn people away, because I don't want to, but I cannot accommodate, just physically cannot accommodate with the technology that I have, more than 90. So, that's the way it is. Yeah, and you're right. It's a shame that people can't work together as a team. And there is no team. That's what I have found. And so, yeah, I will be leaving the guild. I have come to the conclusion they don't want men. And why am I bothering? I belong to a men's guild. There are other guilds in our area, too.
There are other guilds. There's one that sounds very promising. That's a very small guild out close to our area. And they sound like they're pretty good. Yeah. Well,
they don't bother worrying about doing community service and having quilt shows and all that kind of stuff. They're just a bunch of people who want to get together, sew, and be social. Not unlike what I do with Craft and Chat.
Yeah.
The same kind of thing, except they when they could, they physically met. And they have invited me to come out and try them. And maybe I will at some point. There's 2 other ones out in our area too, which these same people in the executive get all uptight about these other 2. Oh, well, when we had our quilt show, for example, a year and a half ago, or whenever that was, maybe it's almost 2 years ago now, can't remember. This other guild was having a sew day.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, okay, 2 years ago. This other guild was having a sew day. Well, they were up in arms on our executive because this other guild had planned their sew day on the same day as our big quilt show. Well, you can do both. I actually made the suggestion, but it fell on deaf ears. I said, you want to know something? Why don't we contact that guild and say, if you would like to come over and see the show, because they were meeting only 2 miles away from where we were having the quilt show. I said, why don't we set up a shuttle service and say, we'll bring around like a van or something, or I don't know, and come and pick you up and take you over for an hour so you can see the quilts. If you want that. But no, they didn't like that idea.
Probably the number of people going to that sew day is minuscule.
Yeah.
And the rest of the people that were in that guild could probably go. But
I said this before another week. This group, this executive group, and this is a very minor, small number of people. Okay? Our guild has about 80 people in it. I'm only talking about 3 or 4, basically. But they're the 3 or 4 that seem to be in control of everything. They make every small little molehill into a mountain, no matter what it is. Our meetings go on forever because it seems like they can find the most minute thing to bring up and to discuss. And I'm sorry, but I roll my eyes when they start in on that. I mean, I'm taking minutes from this stuff, and most of the time I just stop taking minutes because it's not even worth recording, because it's going nowhere. And they can't make decisions. Oh, and then when they do make decisions, they basically don't make it as a team. One individual, and I've already mentioned that individual, seems to have the definitive statement. And we always have to listen to her sermonette at the beginning of the meeting and her sermonette at the end. And it's all about, well, you should be doing things that help people out. She says this all the time. This is a tough time. We need to be aware of people's mental health, and we've got to be there and support them. Well, I'm offering something to help people fight their sense of isolation right now. So am I not fulfilling the mandate that this person thinks we should be fulfilling? I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, Anita, exactly. Life's too short for all that drama. Yeah, I appreciate that, Anita.
Yeah, actually, you're pretty good. Even for crafting chats, if for some reason you can't make it, it's nice to hear that. I like seeing you, but it's nice to get the message that.
Yeah, well, you can't because life happens. That's okay. That's okay. All right, so not to worry about that. That's what I said. I don't have a problem with any of the people that have signed up or will sign up for the retreat. My problem has to do with that one individual that I've already talked about. And the problem I may have beyond that might be if this individual tries to disrupt, which I don't think she's going to be able to, but just I always like to think in extremes, the very best and the very bad, and always have a plan for both. She can't jeopardize the retreat, but she's egotistical enough and arrogant enough to think that she really has that power over people. So anyways, I'll keep you posted as to my ongoing struggle here, but it will not affect this retreat. So don't worry about it. We're going to have one damn good time.
Control of that.
Uh-huh. Hi, Billy. Oh, okay. Marilyn says, oh, okay, thanks. I wasn't worried about the bags, just how to do it. Oh, okay. There's nothing for you to do. You show up. That's it. Simple as that.
Yeah, whenever you want.
Yep. It's all very informal. Okay. So I think I've exhausted that topic. I probably exhausted all of you listening to me about that, but I needed to get it off my chest. And you are the people that I feel most comfortable getting it off my chest with. Okay. So we were talking
That's
about,
okay. I've been listening to it only.
and he's like absolutely unsympathetic with the whole thing.
There it is.
Oh, you're anticipated and everything. Oh, you're very good. Very good. Well, it's Valentine's Day. Did you notice our decorations behind me? Walter made me do them. Thank God I've got a Cricut. Yeah, they're real exciting. Valentine's Day. Bah humbug. So.
Well, I thought it should be festive.
Well, festive. Okay, fine.
I didn't want to do it, but I figured he would.
Yeah. See, yeah. Manipulator. Okay, just checking here. Kathleen says, I'm glad I'm not in the guild. Sounds like the one that I visited, they were looking for members. Thank goodness it stayed away. I mean, I'm not saying all guilds are like this.
No, not all guilds, but this particular one, it
has a reputation for being snotty.
The lady at the sewing store happened to say, well, it seems to be the bigger the guild, the more problems.
Yep.
So it seems that if you're into a smaller guild, it tends to be, there's less people to form cliques with and stuff like that.
It's, I hate to use the term because it's kind of sexist.
You're always going to get a rotten apple or two.
Well, they're catty. Oops. They're catty. They won't handle an issue face on and get on with it. They will say one thing from one side of their face, and then when they're with somebody else, they'll do something else. So, I don't deal with that very well. Andy says, all this why I prefer horses and people to dogs.
Or horses and dogs to people.
I think that's what she meant.
Yeah. Oh, that's what she put. You read it wrong.
All this why I prefer horses and people to dogs.
Oh, okay.
I did not read it wrong.
All right.
I have a degree in English. I can read.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. I read the correction.
Were your chesties? Oh, okay. Is that like besties? Horses, okay. See, Andy caught it. Yeah. That one had older, do this the right way. People arguing with guests right there. Just was not for me. Yeah, we had a past president that was sort of like that. She was much more organized than what we have right now, but she tended to be a little bit abrupt about how she handled people. I mean, sometimes she had to be that way, and I got it. But she was another person, I think, before she retired, she was in a position of management sort of thing. She had people under her, so she was probably used to doing that kind of thing, but I don't know. Anyways, lockdown. Ours is lifting this week slightly. So we'll
be able to get our hair cut.
Yes, you notice this fro? It's like it's a mess. Well, the hairdressers can open up. Again, doing the whole social distancing, wearing masks, only one person at a time in the store. You book ahead, you call from outside of your car to say, I'm here now for this, and all that kind of stuff. Well, our hairdresser called us on Friday, as soon as the news came out that they were lifting some of the restrictions and hairdressers could go back to work. And she was booking us in, both of us at the same time, 3:00 on Wednesday. She said, you guys don't take long to cut your hair. Well, look at Walter's. Like, boom, done.
Zoom.
And she only takes 15 minutes, if not even that, to wash and cut my hair too. It's really fast. So, like one of us will sit out in the car while the other one's getting his hair done, and then the other one will go in when he comes out. So that's how we'll do it. And I'm glad that we're getting it cut because
actually, I'm getting really I don't have much hair on top, but it's getting a little too fuzzy. I like it really because I don't have much hair. I like it cut really short. So
yeah, I could probably do it, but I don't know.
Probably we have clippers.
And if it went on for much longer, we might have been doing that.
I was getting to the point I was going, I want to get rid of it.
Well, I haven't had my hair cut since the 18th of December was my last appointment. So it's almost been 2 months. So 8 weeks. And I'm trying to think last time when we went through this. Well, I think last time was about 8 weeks
Yeah,
too.
like it's yeah, we could probably, well, with me it's easy because it's just like it's not there. But I don't need it styled or anything. Like I always have a hard time with the people that cut my hair. They want to leave a lot of hair on top, and I don't like it because it gets all like it's there's not much there to begin with. It gets all wispy. They think that I want the Donald Trump comb over or something like that. Which I don't really want. I don't want. I just want it short.
Grow your nose hair and
yeah.
Rapunzel.
I hate guys that do the comb over. It just drives me nuts. That and people that have bad toupees.
Yeah, he can spot a toupee from 50 paces away. He'll go, that guy's got a toupee.
They usually look fake. And even those ones where they've got, what do you call it, the hair for men where they put it in. Oh. What happens is after a while, after a lot of shampoos, and that hair begins to look a little ratty. And you can pretty much tell right away that that's what they've got. Not only that, not too many men as they get older have a full head of hair. Like, I mean, you do, but a lot of guys don't. So
it may be white, but it's there. But look at this. I'm looking at the profile. Look at this. This is like, I can't do anything with this over here. It's this cowlick thing going. I'll be so glad to get it cut. But anyway, Bombo says, don't know if you have talked about the shed or not, but has anybody here had their second vaccine? Any side effects? We haven't even had the first one yet.
No.
And we're probably not going to get our first one until September.
Yeah, there's a big shortage. They don't seem to be getting them. And I've read about some people have had more of an intense, what do you call it, side effects on the second shot. Like that they feel more like they've got the flu or something like that. But it doesn't happen for everybody. And his mother doesn't seem to.
My mother's had both shots now. And I said to her, did you have any side effects? She says, nope. Fine, not a problem. So I don't know. I mean, there is the potential of it, I suppose. But, the ones that say they've had some effect afterwards, it hasn't made them COVID sick. Like, it's, you maybe feel a little nauseous or something, or have a little bit of a chill for a day or something. But,
I took about a year or so ago, or maybe been 2 years, I had the shot for the Shinrix, for
shingles.
For shingles. Whoa, I ever had side effects on that. And then after I was having it, the first shot was really terrible, and the second one wasn't so bad. And but after I was having the first shot, then I found out that it's only good for about 4 years.
I still don't realize. I don't know if I've had it or not.
But like my whole arm got so sore and hot, and it was very painful and everything. It was like having shingles.
Yeah. Kathleen says, back down to another topic, I have not had a haircut since February of 2020. I cut it myself in the summer, ponytail now. I've had both shots and I'm ready to go. Kathleen also says, sore arm like the flu shot. That is it for me. Those who at work who have recovered from COVID had some nasty ones. Laura cuts her own hair. I think women are much better at that than men for cutting it. Anita says in Ohio, our age group is not being called up yet. Yeah, well, same here. And Teresa says, no problems, not even as bad as flu. And Anita says she doesn't think they'll get it till the summer. Billy says, son had a nuclear stress test after low sugar episode. 3 weeks later, the hair all over his body, eyelashes and eyebrows included. Does that mean it fell out?
I think so.
I think that's what you mean, Billy. I'm not sure. Andy says my age group is up, but all the places within 25 miles of me are fully booked. Oh, geez. Yes, the shingle shot is rough, Anita says. And Teresa says, I've had my husband shave my head twice. I chopped it twice. And then Laura says, depends your own health if it's bad. for COVID. Here, a 19 died from it, and he was a cleaner at an LTC home. Yeah.
Oh, he had COVID.
He had COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't from the shot.
No.
I'm terrible at cutting my own hair, Teresa, but it's curly so it evens out. Yeah. Hair and shots. I wonder what we'll be saying in a year's time from now. I hope this is all just a real bad memory then, because I'm itching to do some traveling across this country, but that's not going to happen for at least a year.
He lost all his hair. Looks like Mr. Clean.
Oh, geez. Yeah, the COVID thing seems to affect different people different ways too. So it is a weird thing. But anyways, we're coming close to the end of our time. So what else did we want to talk about? So anybody got some plans for today, for Valentine's Day? Going out to a nice restaurant, have a nice romantic meal, getting it on later? Probably. Well, maybe the getting it on. Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. I wonder what people are doing for Valentine's. We don't do anything for Valentine's anyways.
Well, no, a lot of times we don't bother because the restaurants used to be, when we could go to a restaurant, it was always an arm and a leg deal.
Well, yeah, they have a set menu that costs you, the sweetheart deal. It's a sweetheart deal for the restaurant. It's not a sweetheart deal for anybody else. Just gouging you away. I think Valentine's Day, well, it is a made-up holiday. For one thing,
I can go out and get you some heart-shaped chocolates. You're a lot.
Oh, so what are you saying? That you will have a heart on for me?
Oh.
Yeah, never mind. That's a bad joke. Teresa says, eat chocolate. Billy says, I told him kind of a waste being married to a hairdresser. Oh. Kathleen says, leftovers and TV. Yep. Teresa says, sewing. Kathleen says, I will be saying, how was your trip? Yeah, I hope you are. I hope so, Kathleen. I hope I can come on here and say we had a wonderful trip out west or out east and the whole bed. Here's all the pictures. It was great. We loved it. Yay.
Oh, Laura, I didn't know that. Laura Nicholson used to be a hairstylist before.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten about that, Laura. I did know that. So, yeah. Anita says we went to Menards and bought birdseed. Our big outing. Yep. Nothing says I love you than like birdseed for it all. So have to figure out what we'll have for dinner
You'll be
tonight.
eating like a bird.
Because tonight we will need supper because we only had a few chips. I was thinking of making something, but
okay.
I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. You'll probably go, I don't want that. I was thinking of making chicken Picard.
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 Well,
No, chicken Picard. It's got pieces of Enterprise in it.
Star Trekkers.
Yeah, I watched Star Trek the other day. Yeah, that's right.
If you want.
I don't know. We have to
feel like doing something.
Well, I could probably. Here, pick one of these. I'll give you a hint which one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm still number one.
What's this? Whole flock of these. Yeah. Okay, whatever. All right. So, yeah. So I guess a lot of restaurants are going to suffer from this, aren't they? Because no one's.
Well, I figure a lot of restaurants are end up closing at some point in time if it doesn't get any better. So
I feel sorry from them on the level of it. It's a business. This was out of their control. They're going under. I don't feel sorry for the way they're reporting this, though, making us all feel guilty. I've watched so many different things. Says, go out and support your favorite restaurants to keep them in business. Get takeout, get these box things. A lot of them are doing now that are charging you an arm and a leg for that and the whole bit. Okay, they've got to survive. I get it. But you want to know something? Restaurants in normal times come and go. Everybody who's in the restaurant business knows this. It is a very difficult business to start with at the best of times. You might be the flavor of the month for a while, and then suddenly people decided they don't like you anymore. It's
apparently I read
fickle.
somewhere, Anita. I read somewhere that florists were in our area anyway. Were complaining that they don't have flowers. They have trouble.
Yeah,
having trouble getting flowers.
They said that the business is increased over COVID for florists, but they're having trouble getting their flowers from their distributors. So, yeah. But you know, the thing with the restaurants is they come and they go. We will have restaurants after this is all over. It may not be some of the ones that we were used to or something like that, but other ones will spring up. There'll always be restaurants. I feel sorry for those people that are going, their livelihood and everything.
Businesses that have really been affected by all of this. And there are a lot of businesses that have been affected by this. And then there's some that have thrived because of it. So,
well, Laura says, here's a teacher story. What is it, Laura? Well, Laura's putting that up. You know, the thing too is this: with some businesses, I don't feel bad for them because they've been abusive to their customers. And now when they need the customers, they're maybe not getting them. So karma's a bitch. It really is on that. I can think of a few businesses I would like to see go out. One thing I wish they had done, though, is I wish the government had restricted the big box stores like Costco and Walmart and all that, because those ones, it's not fair what our government has allowed them to do, but they don't allow the mom and pop stores, you know, because those big box stores will survive no matter what, but the mom and pops won't. I read an essay from a kid who meant to say nocturnal, but wrote me necrophiliac instead. Well, it changes the whole thesis, doesn't it?
well,
The raccoon is a nocturnal animal. No, the raccoon is a necrophiliac animal. So don't invite it to a funeral with an open casket, because you know those little buggers, they just get in there and wreak havoc on the corpse. Yep. Anyways, that's probably a good note to end off on. Yeah. So I hope everybody was that. I laughed so hard it was hard to tell her what it meant. Yeah, that would be tricky conversation there.
That isn't really what that word means. Maybe you should look it up.
Of course, Laura, it's a high school student for you. So, you know, you could always say, have you ever heard the expression dead lay? Okay, it's time to go. Okay, so everybody, you've got in the show notes the connection to the retreat if you're interested in coming to it. Sign up quick. And thank you for listening to my very extended rant about a certain individual that, I'm hoping a house falls on her and gets her little dog too. Everybody have a really great week. Tune into the vlog tomorrow. Well, some of this will be repeated. And Idiot Quilters, some of this will be repeated on Tuesday. And we'll see you all next week. Have a really good week and stay healthy and stay happy and stay in and all the other stuff. So bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.